hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is, in fact, Victory Monday. An impressive Husker win Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Season 2 of Matt Rule's Husker football and the debut of the lead character known as Dylan Raiola. Lots to talk about over the course of the next hour. 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Hammond text line. If you have questions, you have comments, have at it. Fire it in. You can follow us on the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo Channel 961. And it is with that absolute joy, opportunity to chat it up with one of the lead voices when it comes to Husker football and Husker athletics, Tom Shatel of the Omaha World-Herald. Tom, first of all, thank you for doing this, bro. Looking forward to you kind of guiding us through this Husker football season.
Hey, Derek. Thanks for having me. It's great to be back on the ticket, and it's great to be back with football.
Yeah, well, they gave us plenty to talk about. Tom, let's start with this. The culture that Matt Rule is trying to build, right? I think that's the thing. People want to know, what is this version of Husker football going to be? And as much as Dylan Raiola will be a part of the story, Matt Rule is the story for me in that in year 2, he has a lot to accomplish. What do you think he wants this thing to look like going forward?
Yeah, I think we saw a pretty good preview on Saturday, and it was interesting. On Sunday, I just saw a lot of smiles on people, and saw a lot more Husker shirts than I usually see, and people just generally happy. And they say, yeah, it's great to win, but also the way they played. It was clean. They looked like a football team. Looked like they were coached. It played hard. They hit hard. These are the things, they took pride in being a good football team, and that's. For the rest of football, that's always where it started, no matter what the record was. And it was usually really good. It always started with that. Pride in the job you do and your team, and fans and, winning. So, I think it's making a comeback. Now it's going to be a rough year at times. Not going to be smooth. They're going to lose some games and they'll be challenged. We'll see. They can bounce back at times, but you can see a foundation being built. Something that they can lean on every week. So, to me, that's what this year is all about, along with going to a bowl game.
Yeah, Tom, it was interesting, right? That the build-up to the season, there were things to get excited about. Then there were some injuries, and you go through camp. And then the walk-up to UTEP was one of, there was excitement, but there was still caution, right? We're not sure whether we want to buy all the way in yet. We need to see something. And then what was shown Saturday, as you said, playing clean, while that should be the standard, it was new. It was refreshing to go, woo, we could exhale. They're not, this looks like competent Nebraska football, right?
Yes. And, I love the fans. God love them. They're so optimistic every year, and they come back. Nebraska fans are undefeated against apathy. I don't believe there will ever be apathy here, ever. But they've been burned. I've been burned. I've said, well, I thought they were going to do this and that. And, we thought Scott Frost was going to do this or that. And we've just been burned too many times.
Yeah.
So, you hear a lot of things, and it's funny, we get incredible access to the program. A lot of programs roll out the coach once a week, and maybe you get one or two players. In August fall camp, but we get everybody every week, just about. And so when we're writing stories and doing reports and radio shows with all these quotes, where the people we're interviewing are optimistic. They're going to talk about things that are good. And so it comes off as hype to some people. It's really not hype. We just get good access. We get all these interviews. But I think people have been kind of guarded against the hype. They're like, I need to see something here. And, it was one game, but it just felt different. And, what I wrote was, all those things were true about the culture and playing clean and this and that, but there's nothing like talent. Talent changes everything. And, Nebraska fans recognize talent. I mean, it's been a while since they've seen and maybe they've never seen anybody like Raiola. He's a different dude, man. He's a different style of Nebraska quarterback that he doesn't run. He's the best thrower I've probably ever seen in Nebraska. So it's just the one game. So, but it's one game, man. But it was different in a lot of ways.
So, Tom, what's the thing? We get excited about the talent, about the potential, right? Nothing moves the fan base like potential, right? You just go, oh yeah, this is there. He's a talented young man, and he did some things that we've been looking for, waiting for, hoping for. He did them in full on Saturday, but then there's the other part. That are we putting too much on him after one episode?
Oh, I think that's what we do. That's what we naturally do. I mean, it's you get excited and pumped up, and then something will come along. Some week where it won't be perfect or they'll lose, and and then we'll, I think this Raiola bandwagon is going to be full for a long time, and I think people are smart enough here to understand he's a freshman. And it isn't going to be perfect. And, he probably still hasn't gotten rushed. I mean, the offensive line protected him, but I'm not sure what UTEP was going to do. I mean, there's going to be pass rushes much better than that, was what we saw Saturday. So, and he didn't get touched in the spring or in fall camp. So, what's it going to be like if he gets sacked a couple times or some of these smart defensive coordinators in the Big Ten start mixing things up a little bit. So it's going to be learning. I just want to see a bowl game. I want to see him get better. I think by the end of the year, it should really be, not easy, but it should be clicking for him. And man, I can't wait to see him next year. Because I think to me, this is not the year. Whatever they can do over 6 or 7 wins is gravy. To me, next year's the year. Now I want those senior receivers, and they probably won't be back. But I just would love the fact of just imagine what he'll be like next year.
We're talking to Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald, and again, the Huskers win at home. You talked about talent, and you said he's the best passer you've seen here at Nebraska in a bit. Now that's a big statement. That's a huge statement after one episode. What is it about Dylan Raiola that makes him that much different than anything else or most else that you've seen here throwing the football?
Yeah, he's just a playmaker, and certainly he throws a very beautiful pass. Everything is on target. I mean, there have been guys with good arms, but some guys couldn't throw a swing pass. He didn't have the touch to throw it up the guy's feet, or I can't think of how many passes in the last 4 or 5 years, not to name names, but they were incomplete, and I might go back 10 years. So just guys who throw it high or throw it low, but so far Dylan is on the money, and that money a lot of times is dimes. And it's interesting because you're talking about Nebraska, the history of Nebraska quarterbacks, great passers. You have to go back to certainly Jerry Taggy and Van Bronson were good passers, but they weren't known as back in the 70s. You didn't have a lot of these air offenses. Nobody really threw it that much. Dave Hum, Vince Ferragamo, Turner Gill had a nice arm. He was a running guy. Steve Taylor, he could throw it, but he was a running guy too. Dylan is a guy that is going to sit in the pocket and like an NFL quarterback. But I'll go back to that 3rd and 11 in the first quarter Saturday. He steps up. He kind of gets flushed out. He steps up and makes a sidearm pass. I don't know if it was Nail or Banks or somebody caught it on the run, and it turned into a 16-yard game. People were saying, well, that looks like Mahomes, but nobody looks like Mahomes. There's only one of those kind of guys. Yeah. But the kind of throw, he basically he did what he had to do to make a play, and that's the kind of quarterback and kind of passer I think we're going to see. And that 2-minute drill, Derek. Nebraska's never had any kind of offense that could do it to them. They've struggled to do any kind of drill. And they get the 2-minute warning, and here we go. And they I think it was Banks who got open, and it was like a jump ball, and Banks won. He got position, and he made the play and won. And it's just all this stuff that's going to just breed confidence. When Raiola thinks, okay, he didn't have to make a Superman throw, because he just has to get them the ball. And you saw Isaiah Naylor make that. He shed one defender on the sideline and galloped down there. God, here's how old I am. I was thinking, man, he looks like Otis Taylor in Super Bowl IV.
How about it?
Galloping down there. It was, high stepping.
Yep.
I thought, that's talent. That's the stuff that are used to watching everybody else do, right? And so that's what put the smile on people's faces on Sunday.
Oh, it really was. Harrison and I were joking yesterday that, the sun was shining a little brighter. The breeze felt a little breezier. The coffee tasted better. after the performance. I want to make sure we don't bury the lead or miss the layup in that you mentioned these receivers. And as talented as Dylan Raiola is, he's actually got some talent at receiver. Playmakers. Balls that 50-50 balls that I'm not sure we were sure that these plays could be made, would be made, should be made. But Nair, Banks, and company, listen, they made plays at a very high level on Saturday.
See, I love this use of the portal. I mean, the portal to me, it's Wild West. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's everybody doing everything and leaving after 1 year. But I love it for guys who have been somewhere for a while and just want that one more fresh start. Before they move on, and they go somewhere where they're a fit, and there's development going on around them. I've seen this at the basketball program down the road here at Creighton. They have basketball's a lot fewer players, but you have all these guys returning, and then you go out and you select a portal guy to come in and do something specific, and it just lifts you up. That's what we're seeing here. And this is not a program that's going to go into the portal a lot, but I love that they've got these two. I mean, the goal is to get to a bowl game and win as many games and develop as fast as you can this year. And those two seniors allow you to do that. It was great stuff to get them, and they're going to be a handful. I mean, I know for the season I predicted that Jamal Banks would be all Big Ten. I just thought they're going to throw it a lot. He's that kind of guy, and he'll turn a lot of heads and make a lot of plays. Hell, it could be either one of them.
I love the fact that I kind of went on a hype train. I know, so Banks is from my hometown, and I know the guys that coached and trained him, and I know the space that he was in. They talk about him as a multi-sport athlete and how his moxie, his IQ, and his savvy are all things that are kind of lost in the shuffle because he's such a physical presence. But I love the fact that if we had said Fedoni only gives you this number before the game, folks would have panicked and said, wow, you're getting production from new talent in new ways. It looks different. The result is different. 2 touchdowns from the receiver position, and both of those were exceptional plays made. So I think Satterfield has a responsibility now that he's got to set up. He's got to call plays and allow these playmakers at those positions to actually excel, not just compete, but excel.
Yeah, and it's a very rare thing when you have that many guys. But we see it in the NFL, right? We see it in a lot of some certain places where you have a very good quarterback or somebody who's going to spread it around, and it's all about winning, and they're not worried about stats or how much they're going to make. They're worried about winning, and that's what they're building here. I think these 2 senior leaders at receiver are going to help that. And the idea that today, Rule said that Malachi, you might redshirt. I mean, that's a great thing for him. He's what. I mean, he wants to be Banks one day. He wants to be Nairo. He wants to be those guys. So he gets to watch them every day in practice and get all their good habits and learn their leadership traits and things like that. Same with other guys that are you've got Carter Nelson watching.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bullock, he's watching.
Yep.
Jacory's a freshman. Yep. He's watching. I mean, they're not real tall, but they're seeing other stuff that these guys do. And again, the way Banks made that play, that was a veteran move he made in the end zone. Where he had guys around him, and it was a jump ball. He made the play. He got position. That's stuff that you can learn that stuff. I mean, some of those things are not teachable. These guys are just that talented. But I think that they can all watch these guys do that. And it's a confidence thing too. You had the confidence to make that play. Some of these young guys aren't really sure yet if they could do that. And so it's just it was a great thing for the development of the roster to bring those two guys in. I think it'll be something that we'll be talking about all season.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Tom, I need to ask you about the big guys up front and your opinions on both sides of the ball, the big guys on offense and defense. Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald here, one-on-one, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light southeasterly winds and an afternoon high around 80. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low near 53. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return. It will be breezy with a high around 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 90.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps. Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Serve Nebraska is inviting you to help thank volunteers for their service to our communities. The Step Forward Awards are Nebraska's highest awards for volunteer service, and you can show your appreciation for their hard work by attending the awards luncheon coming up on October 4th in Omaha. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. Made possible by sponsors like Omaha Public Power District. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
September 17th, 1994 was the first what? Let me think for a second.
Game against UCLA, number 13 UCLA in town. College game day was here, but that's not what he's talking about.
I played in that game. I had a couple carries in that game. You can give it to you? Please give it to me. September 17th, 1994 was the first year of the tunnel walk, and it has been going on for 3 decades later. I was there, but you don't. It was a blur. It was all a dream.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. One-on-one with Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald. We're talking Husker victory. Again, you guys can text in if you have questions, comments, 402-464-5685. You got something for Tom you want to get off your chest, please do so. Tom, we talked Dylan Raiola, we talked Matt Rule. I thought that the big guys had the real heavy lens on them offensively, and you mentioned keeping Dylan Raiola clean. The running game required a productive day from the big guys. How would you grade the big guys on their play Saturday?
Well, I'd grade them very well. Against UTEP, they did what they should be doing. I mean, I'd probably give them an A- at least. I mean, again, they're not going to be facing UTEP every week, but the whole point of these games is not, okay, they didn't play anybody. The point is they did what they're supposed to do against that team. And the running game, the holes were really evident. And I wasn't sure that they were going to be. Protection was, Raiola had all kinds of time to throw. At some point, he was checking down 2 or 3 people. I mean, he was looking around. They had all kind of time to get open. So, offensive line, I thought was just terrific. Again, Big Ten is going to present challenges. I think this week will be a challenge. The Colorado defense is great, hard, by any means, but it's going to get tougher down. Illinois is where this is where we're going to find out. But I like them. I like the fact that they're older and they got to a great start. That's what I love about this 4-game homestand to open the season. It provides opportunities for momentum and I think team chemistry and on just across the board.
A big part of this in the run game was giving several Huskers an opportunity to claim their stake as being RB1, running back 1A. Emmett gave you 8 for 71. Dante Dowdell gave you a touchdown, 8 on 55. Ramir Johnson, 11 carries for 50. And Gabe Irvin with the 2 touchdowns and 6 touches. For you, how do you rank them out, seed them out? Who's running back 1A, or is there one?
Yeah, before the season, I thought, well, they've got 4 good backs. The one guy I don't know about is Dowdell. I mean, he was a 4-star kid out of Mississippi. Went to Oregon. You know, they don't mess around when it comes to skill people. I'm thinking, okay, I kind of expect him to be the guy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got the first depth chart and he was the last or, wait a minute, maybe something didn't happen in August that they're looking for, or maybe he's trying to separate them. Maybe he put them all equal to see if there's a competitor, for somebody that's going to take it and run with it, literally. I thought Dante did that Saturday. And if he hadn't had the fumble, he'd be my number one. I thought he was the best, and they all look good. I thought he was just different, and he, you know, especially near the goal line, that's so important this year, is getting down in the red zone and being able to run it in. I hate the fades. I'm sorry, like Coach Sat, I'm not a fade guy, especially near the end zone. I'd rather just run it in, line it up behind a big offensive line and run it in. And I think we'll see Harburg in that sort of situation as maybe a wildcat, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything. I'm just saying that's kind of what I would do.
Right.
But to answer your question, I love Dowdell, but he's got to watch that. If he fumbles again, I think you fumble on UTEP and you're having your way. Okay, you know, you forgive, you give a second chance, but these things are, you know, that kind of thing cannot continue. So he knows that. He's being told that, and but I like all four of them. You know, Ramir, I'm kind of pulling for Ramir, who's been through everything. He stayed and he stayed and he stayed and he fought through stuff, and you know, now he's got his chance. And I love the guy. I think he's a quality guy who can run and catch. I think he's a guy who he can return. I think he's the guy that can just do a lot of things for you, and I think he's going to win a game for him. I've said that before the season. I think he's going to win a game. So, but yeah, I was more impressed with Dante Dowdell, but you just fumble. You got to clean that up.
Can I ask? Is there any concern that Fidone wasn't more productive or more effective in the touches?
No, I just think that was a situation that sometimes it's kind of who do they cover?
Yeah, and
who's open, and you know, maybe Satterfield wanted to get the receivers their first game going a little bit. Yeah, I think that the tight end thing is, you know, you have to be careful with. It's not going to be like Travis Kelce or maybe George Kittle, where those guys are almost like the primary receivers. I don't know that it's going to be like that right now. I think the tight end's going to be used when they can, and when the defense, how they line up and who they guard and who they cover. So I think it's just one game. I would love to see him this Saturday night, because you know Colorado's going to be looking at those receivers, and I mean, this could be a big tight end game.
Yeah, I'm leaning into that. I asked you about the big guys up front offensively, but the real leadership on this team appears to be the big guys up front defensively, in that they stood up. Now, mind you, they may not have put up a whole bunch of sack numbers or tackles for losses, but that seemed like an impressive group Saturday against UTEP.
I loved it. And again, yes, it's UTEP, but that's what you want to do to UTEP. And, they're backed up. I think, boy, this will be, they can get back there. They might be able to get a safety. And here comes number 9. I think we're going to be seeing that all year. Here comes number 9. And pushing his guy back and, just causing a chaotic pocket, and there's nowhere to go. Everything's crashing in on the quarterback. And then there's another play where Ty Robinson just pushed his guy back and just kind of fell on the quarterback. seems like old times. They've had a bunch of those kind of guys. I really don't like to make comparisons, although that's part of my job. I love to do it. I try to be careful what I get myself into. But with Ty Robinson coming back, when it happened last year, I immediately said, I remember Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter after the '96 season ended in a horrible disappointment. They won the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Horrible disappointment, horrible underachievement by Nebraska standards in '96.
Yeah.
They won the Orange Bowl going away, but they didn't win the Big 12 and they didn't play for the national title. So those guys said, we're going to come back and we're going to forego the draft going early, and we're going to try to win it all. And I felt like for Ty that meant take this program to the next level. I give the coaches and the culture they created credit for that. It is a place where he wanted to be, but him and Nash are together like that Wistrom Peter thing for me. They just sort of, I watched them come off the field a couple times Saturday, if they found each other and either give each other a slap on the helmet or a nice fist bump, and say, well, those are a couple of fists I don't want to see. But but those guys, when they fist bump, the stadium moves. But that's the leadership. That's the position. I don't know if I always talk about this, but I was very fortunate early in my career to I worked for a year and a half in the Dallas Morning News, and I was on the Cowboys beat for the 1990 season, and which Emmitt Smith's first year, Aikman's second year, Aikman and Irvin's second year. Anyway, in fact, I got to go to RFK Stadium, which was a real treat for me. Open air press box.
Yep.
Listen to that Redskin band in the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, I ate that up. But anyway, Jimmy Johnson, the coach back then, said the most important position on the field is a defensive line. Now, Jimmy was a defensive guy, but his point was, if I have the best defensive line, I can control the other offense. I can keep them off the field. I can make them punt. I can stop them. And if they can't score, they can't win. And he felt like the defensive line controlled the whole game. And I think that could be true. I'm anxious to see this week, Derek, because, I'm anxious to see what Tony White and John Butler come up with for these Colorado receivers. Because, you can't disrespect them. You can't turn your back on them for 1 second. And they're going to, North Dakota State had no chance to cover those guys. Now, Nebraska does. But I think they're going to lean heavily, or hope to lean heavily this week, on a four-man rush. And the fact they have the guys to do it, or they don't have to help get pressure on Sanders. They've got the four guys who can just get pressure on him. And they can take the other guys and the other seven and just try to make sure everybody's covered, so there's nobody open. And then the secondary and the D line oftentimes work together, where if there's nobody open, that creates a sack. If there's great pressure up front, that creates interceptions. I got to think that they would really love to have a four-man rush and not have to do any more this week.
Tom, we're going to put a pin there, go to break. When we come back and close out this hour, I do want to talk about Colorado and the talent and the whole circus that is Colorado football currently. Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald, DP, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I absolutely want to thank Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald, for giving us this hour, a really good Husker breakdown, and it's necessary. And again, I'm looking forward to a whole year. We'll let him take us through football season, a little basketball as well, to get Tom Shatel to break it down for us. This is an exceptional week. And Tom, tell me on your scale, in recent memory, has there been a bigger game on the schedule with more national attention to Nebraska than this game against Colorado?
It feels that way, but as I just wrote, it's Dion week, and there hasn't been a week like this. There hasn't been an opponent like this where the coach is the story, and he's always the story. anybody who thinks that they're not relevant, I mean, relevance follows Deion wherever he goes. He's always relevant. People always care. We're 4-8 last year. And you know what? Last Thursday night, they had the biggest audience for an ESPN Thursday night game ever.
Yep.
It's like 4.8 million or whatever it was.
Crazy.
I mean, it's because of him. It's because of him. And he's a lightning rod, but God, I love it as a journalist, and he's entertainment. And today, Matt Rule was tiptoeing and sidestepping all these landmines. People were throwing questions about, is this a clash of cultures? What about what Deion said last year about you and Shador and you know, did they call you up and I could apologize? Well, of course they're not going to do that. They got what they wanted out of it. They loved it. So, but you know, Rule is like he's afraid to move. I mean, he's just like he can't even talk because he knows they're listening. They're always listening, and they'll take anything that is a perceived slight and take it into an advantage for them. Now, last year, all Rule said last year was, "Hey, he's doing it his way. I'm not going to do it that way." But you know, that's what they're doing. But we're not going to do that here. Well, they turned that into some kind of there's no way that's going to work. Those guys are idiots. But they turned it into that, and just like, hey, that's what you get with him. And it's brilliant if you can make it work. Now, do I think that's why Nebraska fumbled or had the turnovers at quarterback last year in Boulder? No. Is that why Shador Sanders and found all these open receivers? No. At some point, you got to give yourself a little credit. I mean, we have some pretty good players there, and that doesn't work all the time. But I'm just fascinated by Deion. I don't know if it'll work, but I can't wait to find out. And I think this is a really big game for him Saturday night. I really think he's in a place where his top two players are going to be in the top 5 in the draft, but they're going to be gone. And I think there's a little urgency to try to get something done this year with those guys. And so this is a big game in terms of getting something done, because the Big 12, man, I know some people in Colorado don't think the Big 12 is very good. I'm here to tell you, Big 12 is good, and it's deep. They got a lot of coaches, and they got some players, and they're all going to be gunning for Colorado. So that won't be easy. I think that the Big 12 would be harder than the Pac-12 ever was. So, in my opinion, I just think that this is a big game for him. I think people, there are no national media coming this week. I asked Keith Mann that today. He said nobody's coming. He said there'll be 7 NFL scouts, which was down from last week. But there's Texas, Michigan. There's some other things going on. I think people are still watching Deion, but we're getting to the point where he's, it's going to be about football pretty soon. And man, I don't know if they're ready for what's going to happen. Derek, I've seen a couple of these. The 92 Halloween game with Colorado, that was a bloodthirsty crowd like I've never, ever seen in Nebraska. There's always Nebraska nice. There was no nice that night. Calvin Jones scoring and taking his helmet off was the statement of the game that they wanted to bury him. And 2014 Miami Hurricanes coming into Lincoln. Coincidentally, Warren Sapp is on Colorado staff this week. I just wrote, I wonder if they're going to honor the '94 championship Huskers Saturday. I wonder if Warren will want to catch up with any of those offensive linemen. I'm doubting he'll want to see Rob Zadis or maybe Brendan Sty or Zach Week, or those guys might try to find him. Or even Tommy Frazier. You've heard that famous story about Warren Sapp and Frazier. So, no, I just think it's great stuff. It's great stuff. And Nebraska fans will be ready for him. And it's all because, yes, do they hate Colorado? Yes. But they're into Deion, and they want to beat Deion. That's what they want to beat him Saturday night. He's turning into him. Maybe that works. Maybe this whole Denver Columbus thing. Maybe he has to have that. Maybe some people would say, well, that's a distraction to my team. Maybe he just has to have that. So I'm going to sit back and watch because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Tom, what's on it? We were talking about it yesterday on one of the shows, and I asked the question about the marquee. Like the marquee outside, if you put a big 60-foot marquee outside of Memorial Stadium, the headline has to read something. And to my question was, is it Rule versus Sanders? Is it Sanders versus Raiola? Is it Huskers versus Buffaloes? What is it? What's at the top in the biggest, boldest, brightest letters of this thing Saturday?
Oh, that's a great question. It's all the above. I don't think Raiola, you could drag him into this because he's new. He does not, I think it boils down to, it's always about Deion, right? People want to beat Deion. I think this could be the last one for a while. I think this could be the last Colorado game for a while. The next 10 years are all booked up, and this college football playoff is going to force people to reevaluate how they schedule. And I just don't know if in 10 years is anybody going to care about Colorado? We're playing Colorado. Is it going to help Nebraska? Is it going to matter? So I don't know. I think this might be it for a while, unless they meet in the bowl game or something. But the marquee is about Deion, and again, it's great. It's good for college football. And the thing about Deion is, people love to trash the guy, but what we don't see is behind the scenes. Is he giving those kids a hug? Is he a great mentor to these kids? Is he being, almost a dad to some of these guys? A lot of these guys are very complicated. There's different sides to these people, but Deion lets you see one side, and it's the face he wants to show you and show us. And like I said, it's great for college football. It's a great show, and it's going to fire up a bunch of people Saturday night. It's going to fire up a team in red, and what's better than that? What's better than a emotional, good old college football game that is just from start to finish is just a breathless rush of adrenaline and just emotions and having fun. So, I hope it's fun for Nebraska. I think it will be, but it won't be easy. And I think, we'll be back here next week. I think talking about a win.
Yeah, Tom, I appreciate this. This is a great hour of sports radio. Appreciate you. We'll do it again next Monday, but I'll talk to you Saturday at Memorial Stadium. It's Colorado and Nebraska. Thank you, kind sir. Tom Shatel, Omaha World-Herald. We appreciate you, sir. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. DeMornay Pearsonell. 1-5 in your playbook. Number 1 in your hearts. Coming up on the ticket.